Prince Hotel, and I'm Danica, the president of PATA, Pacific Asia Travel Association.
And I'm Lance, I'm the vice president of Pacific Asian Travel Association. And we're here at the Hawaiian Prince Hotel. We just got back from the 2013 conference. It was really successful, and they showcased all the heads of the industry, and it's really good.
I guess it really depends on on the individual, of course, what you want to do in the future. What Kelly talked about in terms of finance, I think I would have paid a lot more attention. Within my finance classes, I did take them. I took accounting classes as well. Accounting, I did pretty well. Finance, not so much, but it was really, I think it is a very important skill, and just to get an overall understanding of how the economy works, and just that I think is something that if I could do it all over again, I would definitely focus on that.
And emotional intelligence is twofold. One is about you, is how well do you know you? Like for myself, how well do I know Kelly Hain? And how well do I know to keep my emotions in check? How well do I know who I am as a leader? I used to get very, very frustrated when somebody really didn't get me. I literally would be very sarcastic in the way I would communicate with them, and that wasn't good. I mean, it would shut people down, and they would be quiet. And early in my career, I thought that was good. I'm like, okay, well, they're quiet, so they're listening now. And I realized that through my own way I was communicating, that I was shutting people down. Not good. And so emotional intelligence is knowing who you are as a leader, and then the social awareness around you, the impact you have on others. And this is, again, in Leading Starwood, something we talk a lot about. And those leaders who are extremely strong in emotional intelligence have a higher success rate than those that don't. They are successful leaders. And you start studying leaders who are highly successful in any industry across the board, and studies have been done time and time again. Know yourself, know your effect on others, and be very strong at that and understand it. And that is the soft stuff, not the easiest. It's not the easiest. And so it's really understanding how to learn and grow through that avenue. Would you agree? Yeah. HR, Human Resources Director, one of the most amazing resources right now. I mean, yes. I love her.
So some of my thoughts on resumes are that, first of all, a resume really will either open the door for you or possibly close the door for you, whether you get an interview, right? So it is a very important document. Some of the things that we see and some of the most common mistakes are typos or grammatical errors, of course. So really take the time to go through your resumes with a fine-tooth comb. And sometimes it's really hard to see the mistakes yourself, especially after you've written it and rewritten it, rewrote it so many times. So try to get someone, a family member or a friend to help you look over it. I think that's really important. Sometimes the resumes, we've noticed, are very generic. Maybe sometimes individuals are sending out their resumes to a number of different locations, but I think it's really important to put in some thought to make it specific to the job you're applying for. So make sure your career objective matches the position you're applying for. Don't be afraid to express things that you've accomplished in your schooling or in other careers or other jobs, I should say. Don't be modest about it. Put it on your resume. Okay, I think that's really important. Be careful about gaps in employment. Make sure the information on your resume is accurate, especially dates. That's always important as well. And then list again, going back to accomplishments, also list your skills. I think sometimes we are too modest in what we put on our resume. So, for example, if you are applying for a position in marketing and you've had the experience of promoting an event and executing an event, and you were able to attract 5,000 people to this event when really you only expected 3,000, put that down as one of your accomplishments. I think it will stand out when when the person who's reviewing your resume sees that. Some of the things that we recommend is before you go in for your interview, research the company that you're applying for. Learn as much as you can. When you go in there, it will show that you took the time and initiative to research the company. But besides the company interviewing you, it's really your opportunity to interview the company as well, in the sense of getting a feel and learning about the company to see if really that's the kind of company you want to work for. I think you need to take advantage of that opportunity too. Also, if you can find out who you will be interviewing with. I think many companies will have panel interviews or maybe just interviews with individuals, but sometimes it's helpful to find out who you'll be meeting with, because then you'll get an idea of what kind of questions they may ask you. So for example, if you are coming into an interview and it's a panel, at the Marriott we like to do panel interviews, especially for supervisory and management positions. We will have different key managers on the panel, and normally when we do a panel, the person who's interviewing will be asking questions from their particular discipline as to how it relates to that person we're hiring for. So you may want to try to anticipate what kind of questions that would be. Also during the interview, prepare to sell yourself. You're going to get those common questions. Tell us about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What makes you stand out? Why should we hire you versus the other 10 candidates that we have? But I always try to make it a point to sell yourself at the interview. At least put in at least 3 points that you want to get across to the panel as to what your strengths are. So whether you're a team player, maybe you're adaptable to change, and you give them examples to support that. Also anticipate the interviewer's questions. Again, there's always some common questions we're going to ask you, but nowadays companies are moving towards behavioral type questions under the premise that past behavior is the best predictor of future performance. So many of our questions we're going to ask you about is regarding to behavior, such as tell us about a time that you had to direct a team and they didn't agree with what the objective was. How did you deal with that? Or tell us about a situation where you could not get along with a coworker. How were you able to resolve that? And as interviewers or employers, we're looking for you to give us specific examples that would indicate the situation, the task that you had to deal with, the action that you took, and at the end, what the results were. So we're looking for really thorough answers to those questions.
For that, I think the LinkedIn thing is enormous. In fact, I just hired a 6-figure job about 2 months ago and completely recruited and went through LinkedIn to do it. I didn't advertise it anywhere else. I didn't go anywhere else. I handled it completely through LinkedIn. The downside with that is twofold. There's a lot of applicants that come through Career Builder or Monster or LinkedIn. Anytime it's electronic, right? You're going to get it. Whoever the hiring manager is going to get inundated. So you have to set yourself aside. Here's a little secret. When it says, please submit cover letter and salary history or requirements, right? Write a cover letter that I can't tell you the ones that, and that's exactly what this job, okay, I'm telling you, I'm paying this job $135,000 a year, right? That I asked for a cover letter, okay? And for a couple of reasons. One, I want something brief, and I want to know you can write a letter, right? I want to know a little bit about you without having to dig through all the details in your resume, just to get me into that resume, right? 90% of the respondents did not write a cover letter. Guess where they went? In a folder on the side